Let me know. Let me know. You know the way I do when I love you, my. Oh, tier list. Tier list of what to play on classic Maplestory. Straight facts. Straight facts, straight facts. Hey, if you wanna have a good time on, MapleStory Classic, you don't wanna be falling behind, you don't wanna have to, go back to reboot because you can't catch up with the friends that you've been, playing with. You wanna get the most bang for buck, bang for hour, these are the classes that you wanna try to play. Of course, we're not trying to dictate anyone's enjoyment of the game. If you just wanna make a assassin and do KPQ because you like KPQ, then be our guest, but, we're trying to let you know how you can progress and, assuming fourth job isn't going to be coming out right away, we don't know at this point. But if fourth job is not coming out right away, then we want you to have the easiest way up to level 120 and eventually get fourth job. We're considering everything. Like we're considering basically how okay, two things. So how easy will it be for you to get to 120, first of all, for fourth job? Obviously, because this is gonna be your first character, we're also gonna rank it by how viable it is as your first character. We're gonna rank it by
Yo, yo, yo.
assuming real world trading is a factor. Like you can either spend money or you cannot spend money. Like how viable is either of them?
Uh huh.
Um, we're also gonna be ranking it by like potential bossing. Like, um, if you're gonna be bossing with a character like doing Paladin or like
Okay.
Pianist and like
Okay.
level 110, 120. And then last but not least, this is the most divisive I guess metric or third party factor is HP washing. So our
Oh.
list will be assuming HP washing is available,
Okay.
but we're gonna be assuming that AP resets are attainable by paying to win.
Right. So you can buy AP resets with mesos.
Or an X, yeah.
I gotcha. But like in the like, yeah. So we're just saying HTTP washing applies here.
It applies, yeah. It
I
applies. But at
bet.
the same time, it's like, okay, if you really want to play Night Lord and you really want to spend $1,000 US dollars to HP wash it, then sure, your Night Lord is gonna be a pretty good class. But
Okay.
the prerequisite is you gotta spend some dough.
I bet. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready. Then should we start it off? Do you have a class you want to start us off with? Cuisine, aka Red Snowshoe.
I think we can start just on the left,
All
so it's
right.
in order. So the first one will be
Shadower.
Archmage, Fire
Oh,
Poison.
Archmage. I bet.
Oh, sorry, does it look
Archmage.
different?
Man, it don't matter. So you want to start off with Archmage?
Yeah, we'll start off with Archmage. So I think Archmage is decent. It's a magician class,
Mm-hmm.
but here's the thing, right? Archmage is unique in the sense that when you hit third job, it goes really fast because of poison mist. But
Yeah.
until third job, you're only single target from what I've been told.
No, this is true because in until Poison Mist, which is honestly kind of not really that like it's not because it doesn't one shot, it doesn't kill it. It leaves it at 1 HP, so you still have to be active.
Yeah.
So with Fire Poison, your third job, you level so fast. You level so fast
You go
once you
so
max out
fast.
your Poison Mist. And if you're somebody who wants to get to high levels quickly, in Maplestory Classic, the fire poison mages will be the first ones to get to like 120. It's the same thing that happened in Artail earlier
Yeah.
last year.
Because your 70 to 120 will definitely make up for your 30 to 70. Like
Hmm.
it's a 40 level gap versus a 50 level gap. And but one thing I will say though is you will need to really enjoy the class to be able to pull through that second job
I
quickly.
agree. I
Yeah.
recently leveled a assassin to 70, and it was all single target. It's gonna be the same thing, but you're gonna be playing a mage instead.
Yeah.
You
So
can
I would put
cheese
it
with like, hold on, but you can cheese with like poison with the poison orb. It's just single target too, so it's kind of sucks. So
mhm.
I think
Where
I
you
know where
put
I
it?
want
Where
to
you put
put
it?
it. You have a place you want to put it, so I'll put it. For me, it would be here in C tier, or I guess this is like B tier. But what do you think? I would put it in the play it if you
Yeah,
like
I
it
would say
tier.
play it if you like it. Like it's definitely not one of the best classes.
Uh huh.
Um, I also wouldn't recommend it. Like if someone is like, yo, like I just want to like have fun, like what are all the viable classes that I can play? I wouldn't recommend Fire Poison because I know if they don't love the class,
Yeah.
they're not gonna get to level 70.
I would say play it if you like mages. Play it if you like farming. But even then, it's like out of all, I'd say out of all the mages available in MapleStory, this is probably the shittiest, in my opinion.
I will say though, the current number one on RTL, he's a Fire Poison.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just
Yeah,
dedication, though. You know what I'm saying?
that
I feel
is,
like that's not carried by class; it's carried by player.
yeah, you gotta is different mentals, man.
Mm-hmm.
Different mentals. So yeah,
All
let's
right.
put it in play it if you like it.
All right. That sounds good to me.
All
What
right.
next? Do you mind if I choose next?
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually want to go to the Paladin next because I play Paladin on the Artale in Artale,
Mm,
and I didn't understand
yo.
Paladin until like this year. And Paladin is kind of represented as like the elemental warrior, I'd say.
Yeah.
In third job, starting because like all warriors feel the same until third job. That's third job is when they kind of really branch out into their like unique skills and shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
For Paladin, it's all about like I feel like the nerds play Paladin because you can tell yourself, I'm gonna max out flame charge first and only kill like ice mobs, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm stronger than the average person, right? A lot of people who know they kind of got like a game plan going when they start this game. There, if you're a veteran, I would say Paladin is a very good class. However, remember that you're still playing Warrior, and Warrior sucks shit in old school Maple Story.
I mean, are they really that bad though? Like, I
They,
don't feel like okay, of all the classes you can play, right? I
yeah.
think Warrior is like top two.
You think
Like,
so?
we could talk about this more in depth later when we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
more
yeah.
of the things stabilized, but I think Warriors have a unique position in the game where
Okay.
it doesn't matter anything else. Like nothing that develops in the game will impact them. Like let's say next one releases Classic Maple Story by Christmas this year, right?
Yeah.
And then by March next year they introduce AP resets. By May next year they introduce the Maple items,
Yeah.
right? Because when will
Yeah.
be anniversary season or whatever.
Right, right,
Like
right.
so many of these things will impact the likes of magicians or thieves. Like
Yeah.
no maple weapon versus maple weapon, you're building your characters completely
True.
differently. No AP resets or AP resets. You're gonna be starting off as a cleric. You're gonna need leech
Mm-hmm.
your night lords, leech your bowmasters. But for warrior classes, you just fucking play the game. Get 40 base decks and play the game, bro. Like it's not fucking rocket science. But the standard
True.
thing is play
True.
the game. So I think playing like warrior classes in general is one of the safest bets. Yo, shout out Billy Lee by the way.
Big time
Sent
Billy
one
with the
$4 membership.
membership. Billy! What's going
Shout
on,
out
Billy?
3D. But yeah, I think warrior class is just a very safe pick in general.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess the argument, just as you said, right? Like
Yeah.
none of these guys get skills until your third job. So, like, how do we even categorize between the three? I think will be the biggest differentiator. Maybe do you want to like, while you're on this topic, like, do you just
Yeah.
want to do all three warriors at once? Like, let's
I'm
let's talk
down.
about the
I'm
difference
down.
between.
Sure, sure. What do you want to start next with? Hero or because I feel like I understand Dark Knight, but I don't
Let's talk
understand
about
Hero.
the pros and cons of paladins first.
Sure, sure. I'll tell you the pros are elements, cheap. Paladins' weapons are usually cheap because they're very unpopular as a class.
Totally
Maces, you
agree.
know. Um, the disadvantages, I'd say, maybe the fact that you're melee. I mean, all the disadvantages for Paladin is just shit about the warrior. The pro is that it's easy and it's cheap and you can go on your own pace. It doesn't matter if you're third job or first job or fourth job. You're just playing the game. You're not really like worrying about like external, you know what I'm saying, like market or
Yeah, yeah,
community
yeah.
type shit. You can just
So
play the
hold on
game.
one sec. Red Lego says please increase cuisine audio. I don't know if anyone else
Oh,
thinks like that.
I can increase that a little bit on my end. All right, say
I
something.
just wanted to quickly add that AKZ said Paladin loses elemental charge when you use charge blow, which kind of sucks.
True.
Yes,
And,
that's true.
a lot of these classes, like if you play Artail or even just like other like PSs, they buff certain classes, and a lot of the
Yeah,
classes that get buffed have like subject to be like argued for being shittier. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
And we
And one
don't
thing
know.
that I actually want to ask the chat because
Yo.
the server that I no longer am, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The Paladin was the best single target DPS melee class. I don't know if this is buffed or that's just how old school Maplestory was, but just on what you were saying,
Yeah.
Killhawk,
Yeah.
like compared to Hero, which has Brandish, compared to Dark Knights, which has Dragon Fury, Dragon Slash,
Yeah.
all both of those skills are three target, if I'm not mistaken. But
I don't know,
with
but
that being said, Paladin is the only one that has Charge Blast that is single target, and so your damage is like super hyper focused when you're doing single target bossing.
I see. So does Paladin have like a good cleave then, or what? Charge blow is the
No, no,
cleave?
no. Cleave is referred to like when you're like mobbing, like slash blast kind of thing. But
Right. But
the charge blast is
does
single
Paladin
target.
have like a cleave? You know, single target aside.
I don't think it has a cleave. That's why like in party quests such as Crimson Woodkeep party quests, they don't usually get paladins because you can't pin three bosses at once.
Right,
But
right.
you're really good in like single target, like all the Neo Tokyo contents.
Right. Okay. So, damn.
Hedron says if they go 100% original, Paladin is Turbo Doggy. So it looks like it's just the buff on the server.
It really
Kratos says,
depends. It really depends on whether Nexon will buff some of these classes. Like, I feel like Nexon might take like suggestions on like tweaking certain classes. You know what I mean? Like buffing some stronger or buffing some weaker ones or nerfing stronger ones to. I don't know though. Personally speaking, I feel like just keeping it vanilla is the best way.
yeah, I guess if they're keeping it vanilla,
Yeah, and this is
then
we're
the monster
considering this as
Paladin.
vanilla. We're not considering any like tweaks or nothing.
Yeah, well, we're assuming Nexon's not gonna make any revamp or balancing changes. They're just gonna roll the classes as they
Right,
did before.
right.
So I think Paladin's
You
Pro
could,
is number one, is
yeah,
dirt cheap. Number two, it's easy to pilot. You can be brand new to the game and you can still enjoy it decently. But the downside is it's definitely not one of the best classes. It might actually be one of the worst ones based on what you guys are saying. And just kind of like fire poison, you don't necessarily have such a hard time because unlike not having mobbing skills,
mm-hmm,
with you, your struggle is you don't have any new flashy skills to use. But you can still
yeah,
get through and get to level 70 if you're playing with friends and you get FOMO, you get pressure during playing,
yeah.
which is great.
You have to like the class, especially for Paladin. I feel like.
Where would you put it?
I said the Archmage first, so I wonder where you would put it, and then I'll tell you my choice. Where would you put it, bro?
I think I would put it in play it if you like it. Like it's
Yeah,
I feel like actually we should change the viable column because play it if you like it is kind of like viable.
yeah.
But viable should just become like recommended, like rec. Let's put rec.
All right, how's this? RECC. All
Yeah,
right, for sure.
sounds
I'd have to agree with you. I think Paladin. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, bro. I like the class. I'm kind of biased since I've played it a bit. It's probably
yeah.
the most. It's ironic, but it's the most I've played out of the three warriors. Cause
Hey, the chat saying Paladin should be in Go Play Reboot. Do you think it warrants to go that far? I mean, to be fair, Paladin is busted on Reboot. That's one thing I know, man.
yeah.
Shout out Airflow Games, shout out Dookie. They let me know Paladin is fucking busted on Reboot, man. We got like a 30-second iframe, bro.
We can always change it around, but for now, I like it where it is. Just play it if you like it for Paladin.
Alright, we'll put play it if you like it for now. We'll play it
I
for now.
bet.
We'll get it bumped down. I can promise you guys by the end of this tier list, there's at least gonna be 4 entries where you should just go play Reboot.
For real. Okay, next up, let's just finish off with the Warriors. What do you think
Yeah,
about
let's
that?
finish up with the Warriors. So I want to go with speaking of 30-second iframes, let's talk about Dark Knight.
I bet Dark Knight.
And I know the old school players aren't gonna, I'm actually kind of ashamed of myself. Actually, no, fuck it. Forget the 30-second iframe, bro. We're on old school Maple
No,
Story right now. Let's talk about
this is an
Dark Knight.
OSMS channel, y'all. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it McTwisted.
Okay,
Do you
don't
mind
get
if I
twisted,
start?
man.
Do you mind if I
Yeah,
start
go
with
ahead,
Dark Knight?
Yeah, talk about it. Talk about it.
I have never played Dark Knight till 4th class, so I can only comment up to third job. But Dark Knight is very classic. It reminds me of like bishops or knight lords in terms of popularity. It is by far the most popular warrior class, even outshadowing Hero. I know Hero is like the main character, but Dark Knight is the most. It's the most played. I'd have to guess that it's probably going to be the one of the most played classes in old school Maplestory, especially the new classic server. Hyperbody
Dark
is
Knight,
broken.
Dark Knight has the most cultural equity in old school Maples, right? Like when you think of, if I ask someone, what are the top 3 skills you
Yeah.
think when you think of old school Maple? Number one, Lucky Seven.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Lucky Seven or triple throw plus Shadow Partner?
Same thing. Same
Um,
thing.
Avenger could be up there, like Avenger plus Shadow Partner, but
Yeah.
Night Lord's
Avenger.
on there.
Yeah.
Second, 100% Dragon Fury or Dragon Slash or Dragon Roar. Like all those 3 skills are
Mm.
so iconic, bro.
Fucking Dragon
not even
Roar.
debatable.
Dude, Dragon Roar. Okay, if this was like a pre-third job like tier list, Dragon Knight is going to S tier. But since this is a fourth job including, I do have to say that all these skills are so good. Like Dragon Roar, if you have a fucking cleric with you, you are literally genesising for free. It is a bit weaker, but it's the same skill. It's literally the same
It's the
skill.
same skill. He just fucking threw it in the best class.
No. I was just making an example, but like it has, it
It also
counteracts
has
HP
Dark
washing.
Impaler, bro. Dark Impaler does so much fucking damage, man.
This guy tell me you played Dragon Knight without telling me you played Dragon Knight.
But
Dude,
nah, yo, I 100% agree. It's one of the iconic. Like we talking iconic, it's up there. Let's talk about playability then. So, quickly just on the topic of like HP washing again, right?
yes.
If HP washing is a thing,
Yeah.
then I think okay, there's 2 different ways to look at it. If HP washing is a thing, but Nexon is monetizing based on it,
Yeah.
then Dragon Knight is gonna be huge because if Nexon is monetizing on it, you know for sure that a good percentage of the player base are not gonna be HP washing.
Of course.
So that hyperbody is gonna come in clutch. If Nexon is monetizing, on oh sorry no, if AP resets are a thing, but Nexon is not monetizing on it, so maybe it's like a voting bonus or
Right.
maybe it's like a kill quest thing or whatever. I
Right.
still think Dark Knights and Dragon Knights will have a lot of place in the game, and it doesn't
Agreed.
diminish their playability at all. Like, actually, I've heard somewhere that you don't gain as much HP per level up as Dark Knights. I don't know if that's true.
I wouldn't know. I would not know.
Okay. Chat, if you guys know,
If
you
anyone
guys
in
know
if
whether-
anyone in chat wants to chime in with their goated knowledge, please feel free. That's why we're streaming this. Personally speaking, though, Dark Knight iconic. I think it falls off late game, but it's not a bad class necessarily. It also has the longest range out of all the warrior classes, which is huge, right? As a melee,
Yo, Bag JPEG says seeing people do Dragon Roar when you're a noob is insane. Dude, I remember doing a Hennessy's Hunting Ground and people doing Chaos Wars with Dragon Roar. That shit was so iconic.
Mhm.
And also Hedron says Hyperbody, you just can't boss without it unless you want to spend thousands of dollars. That's 100% true.
100%.
I think just based on all of these, we should put it in like best class in game. Like honestly,
Okay.
the only downside with Dark Knight is if the server has been going for like 5, 6, 7 years, and everyone
Yeah.
is already HP washed out the wazoo, like nobody needs hyper bodies anymore, then sure.
Yeah.
Second is that actually, okay, I think it has 3 detrimental flaws that I don't know how important it is to this tier list. So the first one is the longevity of how important hyper body is. The second is your input per minute compared to heroes and paladins is actually a lot higher when you're in 4th job, right? Because you got to Zerg, you got to keep your HP at 20-30%. You gotta
Yes,
always
you have
be
to.
mindful.
You can't be brain dead playing. You have to watch your
You
HP
can't be
bar.
holding your key down while doing other things. Like you have to actively look at your screen.
Yes.
And I think for the purpose of this tier list, I don't think it's a huge concern right now because that's probably for like end game bossing. Like
We can always do like an updated tier list, maybe like
Yeah, we
you
can
know what I
always do
mean?
updated, yeah,
Years
for sure.
into the release of Classic, you know. But for now, I'd have to agree with you. Maybe there is some sort of like discussion to put it in recommended, but the safe pick would be best class. Out of the two, I'd put it in best class. It's pretty.
for sure.
It's
Best class.
definitely like top. I'd honestly say top 3.
Like
top
Dude,
3 classes.
exact same scenario of me on RTL right now. If I can get past that level 30 to the level 70 grind, like this
Yeah.
shit is the best fucking class.
Yo, I'm waiting for you to get your
I'm
roar max,
trying, man.
bro.
I'm trying. Yo, Classic Maplestory is announced, bro. I don't want to play the game anymore,
Ain't
man.
no one trying to play nothing. We waiting for this classic MS to come out. Shoutouts
Oh,
Inkwell.
yo, I might just go play Reboot while I wait, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's not get too far there. Okay, let's.
Yo, should we go? Yo, when does the event end? Should we go like try to roll a Tanjiro pair right now or what?
I'm down, bro. I'm down. Yo, if somebody donates us $100, we'll put it immediately into the Tanjiro funds, and we'll gamble our money away.
Tanjiro ones.
All right,
We gotta save
next,
up
next
for
class,
San
next
Francisco.
class. True,
All right,
true.
hero.
Hero, I need you to carry on Hero because my boy over here, Audi Mars, he has played Hero. Okay, if you know
Yo,
your
I've
boy
been
Red
playing Hero
Snowshoes,
since I've gained consciousness as a child, man. I've been playing this shit for so long. I play Hero on GMS back when I was in high school. This is like 2010, 2012. And then I played Hero on a few servers here and there, not gonna name them. And then I play Hero currently on GMS. And then also I went to Reboot Hyperion when it came out, and I was playing Hero then. So I've been playing Hero for a long ass time, and I'll tell you like all the pros and cons of Heroes. But the most important pro of Hero, you literally log in, get into a boss, and you hold one button, and you just like AFK. Like you don't do anything. It's like Heimerdinger but for Maplestory. Like you it's for people who don't like playing the game to play the game.
that's crazy. Why though? Why
Like
is
it's
it that you can just
changes,
hold the
bro.
button and just AFK? What makes Hero different
All
from
right,
the other
so
classes?
just like as you said, Hero, Paladins, and Dark Knights, they all have the essentially the same second job, right? And then for specifically Paladins and Heroes, like your third job, you aren't really doing much. Like you get like a charge bow or like the five spinning wheel things. But for Heroes, once you get to the fourth job, there's a skill that allows you to like block 10%. Okay, you can mitigate the damage 10% of the time
Uh
if
huh.
you're wearing a shield. And you also get the skill called Achilles, which decreases your
Oh, I've
damage
heard of
taken by
that skill.
30%. Hmm.
I see.
And so you literally like you don't die. Like it's so hard to die on a hero.
Is
So all
it?
you do is you
Damn.
stand there. You have stands too, so you just like hold down your brandish and you just like
Okay.
start texting people.
Okay. I I don't know what to add besides I just think that the orbs that fucking go around the advanced combo attack, that shit looks cool. I think panic and coma are really cool skills just in general. Doesn't the
Yeah, they're cool.
coma, or is it panic, that has like dark attribute as well? It has like an elemental dark
Uh,
attribute.
I'm actually not sure about honestly, like when you're playing a hero,
Yeah.
you only need two keys on your keyboard. You need jump and you need brandish. That's all you need.
Damn, okay. Well, there you have it. That's coming from a guy who has almost hit level 200 on a hero, bro.
Almost hit level 200 on. Okay, but like as far as tier lists go, right?
Yeah.
I actually don't know. I think heroes and paladins are very close to each other before
Yeah.
fourth drop for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Paladins get elemental skills, however, and heroes is still stuck in third job using like your power strike and slash blast, albeit with your like orb spinning thing. So
You do get
paladins
some
has a
like
stronger
finisher
third job.
moves, but like your main hitting skill
Oh yeah,
is
you
your
get
power
like
strike.
panic and whatever. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So I would say third job wise, paladin ranks higher, but
Really? Okay, yeah, third job
fourth
wise.
job, like fourth job, heroes is the best warrior fourth job in my opinion. Like it balances how
Damn.
strong your class is versus how much input and how much attention you need to pay to your character.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like again, I'm a very hero noob. I've never played hero. I think the max level I've gotten was like a level 35 fighter. So I
Dude, but those
honestly would not know where to put it on the tier list. Where do you think you would put it on the tier list with what we have so far?
put it on recommended. Like I recommend it, but I think the impact it has in this like super old school, super fresh environment is
Right.
not as strong as Dark Knights. Like it's nowhere as impactful.
Mm-mm. Okay.
Like think about it this way, right? Let's say this is currently April of 2026. The game's
Yeah.
been out for 4 months.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to do Papalatus and Pianus. There's a level 140 Dark Knight versus a level 140 hero. Which one do you take? Like 100% is gonna be the Dark Knight.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But maybe down the line, maybe like 3 years later, it might change. Like
Yeah.
at that point, maybe the hero would be the choice.
Yeah. You could be. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I like this so far. In my headspace, I always saw Dark Knight as being the most meta of the warriors. Hero
Mhm.
always felt kind of middle ground, even though it's got that, what I'm saying, it's got that main character aura with it. But I feel like all warriors do have viability. Like when I was a bit of a more of an OSMS noob, I always thought there's just no point in playing warriors. But the more you play the game, the more you realize how important, like how very they like without warriors, Maplestory cannot exist because like the tools that these classes give
Yeah, and
helps.
just on that real quick, like
Yeah,
the essence of what a warrior is, right? Like I know a lot of people have this argument in modern day MapleStory, even like the servers that have aged
yeah,
quite a little bit,
yeah.
is what is even the point of playing a class that is tanky and melee range anymore when all the other classes are also now tanky, but they're all ranged, right? Like
Mm,
they got power crept out of the game,
mm.
but the very fundamental thing about warrior classes in the olden days is that number one, you're tanky, number two, you're melee range, and that's really the most that you got to worry about. And I think heroes encapsulate all of that. You're not like paladins where your main attack skill is only single target, and you gotta like think about what elements they are to toggle properly. You're not
Uh-huh.
like a dark knight that you always gotta be like micromanaging your HP and your skills and cooldowns. You literally stand there with a shield and you hold down one key, and I think that's what embodies a warrior character, like the warrior drop branch, so perfectly, bro.
I see. So you would say out of the three warriors, hero is the most warrior-like class.
Yeah, hero is the warrior to how Nightlord is the thief.
I like that. That's fire. That's fire.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay. So okay. All right. So far, I have to say, like, out of these, I feel like we've agreed. I feel like we might come across a class we might disagree on, but so far these
yeah.
are they're pretty good. They're in good placements right now.
For sure, man. Which one do you want to do next?
I want to just hit it with like a random one. Let's do like a one that I have no idea on, and that would
Well,
be
I bet it's gonna be a pirate class, eh?
yeah,
Which
it's
pirate
gonna
class?
be Corsair, bro. I feel like Corsair is a very
Yo,
interesting
shout out
class.
K-Flog, shout out K-Flog. Yo, shout out TK, got 80 years too. Hold on.
Shout
One
out to
sec.
my
Let me
boy
grab a different chair.
TK.
I just broke one.
How the fuck did you just break your chair? Shout out to my boy TK, K-Flot, you know what I'm saying? Corsair, while Cuisine's gone, let me just say everything I know about Corsair. If you've watched the episode 2.5 of Maple Journalism, you know you can get the top of the hut on top of Hennessy's Market, you know what I'm saying? And you can flex your
I'm back.
items. Yeah, welcome back.
I
I've
like when it's
never played or seen what Corsair looks like beyond second job. So again, I have no idea. I just know that Corsair is more useless than the Buccaneer. Okay, and we'll get to that later. But Corsair,
uh,
in my opinion, is I mean, I've heard some stuff. The only thing I can say is like I've heard bad things about it, not good
bad
things.
things about it.
And
Eh?
then the people who do say good things about it have mained the class.
So here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I was actually talking to someone in the Sahi Discord the other day.
Okay.
I forgot who it was. It might have been Derek.
Okay.
He
Shout out
was
to
telling
Derek.
me how Corsairs actually level really fast because they have like a damage over time skill. Chat, please correct me if I'm wrong because again, just like Joe Hawk, I know nothing about Corsairs.
Mm,
All I know is their second job. They're predominantly single target, but they have this like triple shot skill that can hit three monsters.
mm.
I just know, okay, to me, Corsair is the class you play if you really like it. Like we talk about Fire Poison, we talk about Paladin, where that yeah, play it if you like it, but
Right.
Corsair, like you have to dedicate yourself to that class. Like you can't just like dude, Corsair in old school Maple Story is like fucking what is that thing called in GMS? What is that thing called that like you gotta like hit three keys every time you want to move one block? What is blasters, bro? Corsair is blaster.
Oh.
Corsair is blaster because when you're in third job,
Yeah.
you gotta buy these elemental capsule cubes and
I
like
yeah, the
shoot these like
Blaze capsule.
yeah, these little like baby flame stuff out, eh? And then you like bounce like you like jump back and stuff, but in your fourth job, bro, the class is a nightmare to play. Like you think with Dark Knight, you have to keep track of a lot of things. Dude, when you play Corsair, like the amount of HP you have left on your boat, like how much damage you might potentially take, and whether you need to
Bro.
demount or remount to get on the boat, man, like it's so much work. But all I know is when you get to fourth drop, like we talking like late, like
Yeah.
170, 180, the
Yeah.
class does a ton of single damage, the single target damage. So I don't know if it's worth the pain of getting there, but that shit definitely painful. And for that reason,
Hmm.
go fucking play Reboot, bro. Just play Reboot until the game gets deep enough where you can just RWT your way to leech to 180, but do not play Corsair until then.
I bet. I feel like that's a good place to end it.
That's my verdict, man. That's my verdict. Yo, let me check chat real quick because I honestly don't know too much about the class. So
Corsair, from what you've just said, Corsair reminds me of like Yoshi in Super Smash Brothers Melee, or like
yo,
Luigi or some
Red
shit.
Lego says put Corsair and go to Reboot because it won't be there on launch. Yo, we don't know that, guys. We don't know if Pirates
True.
is
Actually, yeah,
Pirates
we
gonna
don't
be
know.
there.
We don't know. We don't know.
You know?
Well, if
Okay, we
it's
gonna pretend it's gonna be there. We're gonna pretend it's gonna be there.
yeah, we're gonna pretend it's gonna be there because we agree that pirates is part of the OSMS culture.
Yeah, we have opened our acceptance level and we're welcoming them in.
Yes, but you know, you will be welcomed at the very bottom of the bucket for now. Hey, if you want to change our minds about that, prove it to us, Corsair mains. You know what I mean? Show
Yo,
us
prove it
what's
to
up.
us. Even though you guys aren't in the game yet, when it
Yeah.
Creo says Corsairs play like shit until fourth drop. Having a micro managed ship HP true. Dismounting on one. Oh, I forgot, dude. Bosses that can 1-1 you. I remember now. If you get 1-1 on your pirate ship, you're pretty much AFK for the next 5 minutes until that shit comes back on cooldown. Like it's
Epic.
so annoying to micromanage.
Epic.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Okay. Well, yeah, that's gonna be our first go play reboot class. For more reasons than one.
That's why
Let's
it's
go into
there.
Buck then.
Bucks, I'm down. Okay. So here's what I tell you about Bucks. I'll say 2 words.
Okay.
Speed infusion.
Yo, I'll say one word.
All right.
Genesis. Wait, does that even work? Like, I know in a certain server, like they change it so specifically you can't fucking do that. But does this work? Like,
What do you mean?
you can like teleport cast Genesis while on speed infusion and you like farm twice as fast?
I think maybe in like a more regality version of Maplestory, I think. But I don't play those servers, so I wouldn't know. I don't know how. I feel like with Nexon they might like tweak these things. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they might put it into consideration. But again, this is all like vanilla. We're talking about vanilla stuff.
Well, yeah, we're talking about vanilla. And then the other thing I also just want to remind the two of us, right?
Yeah.
With Corsair, its biggest weakness is it's not good until late fourth drop. Even
Yes.
early fourth drop is not good, but we should focus on classes that gets you to the fourth drop.
Right.
Like if we can talk like longevity into the fourth drop, that's great. Like for example, Hero, when you actually get the fourth drop is a lot of fun, but the path getting there, it's not.
Yeah.
So with Buccaneers, I actually want to argue that you have arguably the most fun second job of any class in the game. You have a skill
Oh, you
that
think so?
shoots you forward. You have a skill that lets you like do like a little cartwheel in the air, and you have a skill that shoots you backwards. Like you have a backspin blow. You have a corkscrew corkscrew blow, and I remember back in the day, like grade 9, grade 10, when I was in like when I was in grade 9, grade 10, I used to do Carnival PQ with Buccaneers, or what is it called, Brawlers?
That was me
That
with
was
Dual
so much
Blades.
fun, bro.
Yeah, dude. Shout outs
So
to
much
Monster
fun.
Park,
Like
bro.
I remember the toy Trojans being speed boosted. I remember the
Monster Carnival, I mean.
Robos and the Teddies being speed boosted, and all I gotta do is just corkscrew blow them. I can't say that word, man. Holy shit!
Corkscrew
And then
blow.
and backspin blow. Like it was so much fun, and I could recommend this class. Okay, I really recommend it
Yeah.
if you like it.
Okay.
But will I recommend it to people that don't know the game well? Well, here's the thing, and maybe you can speak more to this.
All right.
Third job. Its third job is a mess. And
Really?
that's coming from the perspective of someone that has never really played Buccaneer into the third job. But to my understanding, like you have super transform, you have off transformation. Like it's kind of confusing to play. So I don't know. What do you think about it?
Bro, you know how I said I don't play Corsair? I've only played Buccaneer first class. Like I've never seen like
You-
what all
You've
those
only played
corkscrew
Corsair
blow,
for
backflip blow, blowjob blow. Like I don't know any of these skills. The only thing I know about Buccaneers is straight up the fact that later on you do get this skill called Speed Infusion, and it's basically like a bonus booster, claw booster, spell booster. You know what I'm saying? Like it just gives you more attack speed if you need it. Some classes don't need it, you know what I mean? Like thieves, I feel like don't need speed infusion, but like the other classes such as warriors, they benefit heavy from this skill, and because of that, it does to me in my from my perspective, I see Buccaneers as like a the class is great, but there's also like something to look forward to. It's kind of like sharp eyes, you know what I'm saying? Like if you invest your time into a Buccaneer, the late game will pay off because you'll be pretty popular with like parties and stuff. And if you really like the class, that's just a bonus. Because I know like Buccaneer players who will play Buccaneer even though they don't fucking like the class. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, I just quick thing on that. Just to add on to what you said, right?
Yeah.
I think this is very important. What you pointed out. Buccaneers' success, unlike Sharp Eyes, is highly dependent on the meta. Every class can benefit from Sharp Eyes, but if your meta is, for whatever reason, bro, we don't know what Nexon's gonna do. But if Nexon makes it so Shadowers and Night Lords and Bowmasters become the best class in game, then
Yeah.
your Speed Infusion will not be
Right,
doing it. Those classes
right.
they don't need Speed Infusion.
You make a
But
good point.
if the game goes how we think it's gonna go, like let's say, Nexon sells AP resets in the cash out for $1 each, right? And that's gonna kind of gate a lot of peoples from playing Night Lord and Bowmasters.
Uh-huh.
Then your Dark Knights, your heroes, your paladins, they're gonna be the best, or at least the most common classes. Then for sure your Buccaneer is gonna have a great time in fourth job.
I see. So it's situational is what you're saying.
It's situational, but just as someone said in chat, its third job is absolutely miserable. I actually haven't seen that many feedback in chat regarding its third job, but I think the third job, it really is miserable, and for that reason, I think it belongs exactly where you have it. Just play it if you like it. It's not the best
Okay.
class, not the worst class. It's just middle of the pack.
Okay, I have one more suggestion then. Do you want to put it at the top of play it if you like it then? Just because it does have that little bonus of speed infusion?
I think Fire Poison should be at the current bottom of play it if you like it.
Bottom of play it and then Paladin at the middle.
Yeah, Paladin in the middle. And the reason for
Alright,
that is
bet.
because with Fire Poisons, like, you really, like, most people tend to underestimate how terrible it is to play a class without
Oh,
a
time leap
multi-target
is a
skill.
time leap is a great
Oh yeah,
a
time leap
great
too.
point too. Because what time leap does, from what I know, is it removes the cooldown of certain really long cooldowns. Again, it's very situational, you know.
For sure. And it doesn't work on origin skills.
Okay, bro. Yeah, it doesn't.
Shout out everyone watching now, by the way. We're at 100 watchers right now.
God damn, y'all have no
Almost
lives. What's going on, guys? What's going on? It's your main man. Hey, yo, subscribe to Red Snowshoe right now. I don't give a fuck if you subscribe here, but go bring my boy Cuisine, aka Red Snowshoe, some love. He's coming in here with the hot topics and the hot news. Okay, the least you can do is go check his shit out. All right, we brought him back from the grave.
Happy Easter long weekend too to any Canadians watching.
Happy Easter
Wait,
long
you
weekend,
wanna
guys.
help me drop my channel URL in the chat?
Yeah, let me do that right now. Don't you have it? Here. Can you send it to me? Yeah,
I just sent it to the
perfect.
chat.
I'm putting it in the chat, guys.
Yo, what up, What up, Cryptic? What up? Oh my god, I can't talk
Cryptic
right
Seal, yo, Bridie, Azur, Kratos, Hedron, Bag, Chromatic, Red Lego, 3D's Nuts, Free My Boy, Genghis Gunt. Welcome, guys. We're almost done with our tier list here, and after the tier list, we're just gonna hop on Artail. At least I'm gonna hop on Artail, and I'll chill with you guys.
I'll probably be playing Maple Legends, but keep that on the down low.
I bet. Okay, let's move on, bro. Let's move on. We got shit to do.
All right, so
what's next?
I mean, let's start with the okay, there's two ways we can do this, right?
Okay.
We can tackle the classes that I know the two of us and everyone in the chat wants us to talk about.
Yeah.
Or we could talk about the more fringe classes. What do you think?
Let's start off. I really want to talk about Bishop. I feel like we should choose Bishop, and then we'll choose the other class last. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Sounds good to
All
me.
right, Bishop. So Bishop will go at the best class, okay? And okay, what's next? What's the next class that we're going with? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're
Okay.
not even gonna elaborate, eh? You're not
No,
gonna
no, no, no.
elaborate.
We'll elaborate. We'll elaborate. So let me start off by saying Bishop, aka Cleric, aka Priest, is my favorite class in old school MS. It's not even close. Not even Night Lord comes to how much I love this class. So let me explain why. All right. If you can,
Bishops are like Yumis if Yumi actually did something.
it's like Yumi if Yumi could just be a solo laner.
Yeah.
Bishops have heal. First of all, magician is a great class. Okay, you're tanky thanks to mana, magic guard. Okay, first job magic guard, but broken. Second off, at second job you get heal. Heal is broken. It was so broken they had to nerf it once Big Bang happened. Okay, you just spam that shit. Not only does it heal your party members, it does more healing than your average potion. So that's money saved. Maplestory is all about mesos, baby. You already know. Second of all, there's so many undead mobs in the game that you can just fucking hold down the button, go watch anime, go watch your favorite K-pop star, and you'll come back and you'll level up without even doing anything because you won't die. It does both things. Okay, so second job, boom, you got heal, you got MP eater, so sometimes you don't even gotta pay, you don't have to get mana pots. Third job, HS. What does HS do? Say it with me, chat. 1.5 times EXP for you and your party, bro. All right. What the fuck? Maplestory is all about leveling up. So you're gonna say you're like, if you have the choice to have 1.5 times bonus EXP, you're not gonna take it. In Artale, people fucking sold HS service for money.
Dude,
That's
it's
how
sold HS for
good.
money and they got banned on Discord for it, bro.
That's how good this
That's how
character is. All right.
for sure, for real, man. That like
Not only
it's
that,
not even debatable.
dispel. You don't need all cures anymore. Fucking dispel that shit, okay? Magic door, whatever it's called. You don't need return scrolls no more, okay?
It's
Summon
like
dragon.
Nexon put every single best skill of every single job advancement onto one class. Like that's how you can think about bishops if you've never played the game.
Somebody it may have been that girl who was featured in that fucking video with, maybe she's the one who made Bishop. Maybe she liked Bishop a lot and she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put everything good on this class. And we're not even done. We're only talking about third job. You know what happens in fucking fourth job, bro? Genesis, bro. Genesis, bro. That shit hits 15 mobs, okay? And
dude, that shit is like a Karthus ult with no cooldown. Like this class is literally okay. Like it's like okay, holy fuck, man! Okay, if you think of like a hero, for example, right? Like if you're trying to equate hero to a League of Legends champion, which is the reason why I use League of Legends as a reference, not because I play the game. I haven't played the game in like fucking
I have
6 months, but well, yeah. Anyways, for hero, right? Like you can look at modern game design, like how game companies these days tend to balance and make characters as interesting to play as possible.
Yeah.
And that's why with League of Legends, every champion has more or less 3 to 5 skills. You have champions that has a little bit more, maybe your passive does something, or maybe one of your skill is like a two-parter. But with hero, you essentially only have rush, you have your buffs, and you have brandish, right?
Yeah.
It's a 2-skill class.
Yeah.
You look at Bishop on the other hand, bro.
Yeah.
Karthus ult, return scroll, holy symbol, that's above, magic guard, that's above, heal, right? You have
Bless.
teleport, you got bless. Like you have so many things. The class is just overloaded, bro. It's so
Every
bloated.
single skill from every part of your job, first, second, third, fourth, they're all useful. You use them all the way till level 200, bro.
They're all useful. There's so many skills. Dude, Bishop is like Buccaneer if Buccaneer's skills actually did something. Like that's how many skills Buccaneers have that do nothing for the whole game. And that's why Bishop is the best class, man. Like,
Exactly.
You want to play a class that actually does something, or you want to play a class that just like go left and right, and then just like I don't know, transform or
Just
something.
heed our advice. If you are a Maplestory noob, play the Bishop, okay? There's
Let's
no
play
other
Bishop,
class that you should be playing, okay? If you are a noob, if you are watching this being like, oh my god, I can't pick what class I want to play for classic Maplestory, Bishop, bro. Bishop, all right?
Bishop.
That's
Even if
it.
you're an experienced, like let's say you come from Reboot, Global Maplestory, Artale, any other server out there, Unless you feel strongly about playing anything else, just play a bishop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Agreed. Agreed.
Okay, actually, I can make one case on why you might not want to play a bishop right away. Like, it's
What would that
still
be?
definitely on the roadmap, but right away, it might be because if they launch classic mode MapleStory,
Yeah.
there's no luckless items in the game yet.
Mm.
But you think they're gonna release it pretty soon down the road.
Of course, of course. Like the problems that Bishop has, they will be removed as the game develops. So like, you know what I mean? Maybe you'll struggle in the early game. If you don't want to struggle, I guess you don't play Bishop. But later on, you're gonna be like, "Fuck, man! I wish I made that Bishop, man." All right, trust me, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And then WP Free Internet says Bishop might be the best, but I want to bash my skull in playing the killer bench. And hey,
Yeah.
some people like myself. I don't particularly enjoy playing the cleric branch. I think is think about it this way, right? You guys play GMS. I know some of you guys play Reboot before.
Shout out to my
Cleric is
rebooters.
your link skill. You need your link skill. You need your
Yes.
legion. Bishop is
Yes.
just a means to an end. You make a bishop, you
Yes.
can leech your Night Lord in a couple months from now.
I agree. I 100% agree. That is a great analogy because a lot of modern MapleStory players here are interested in the old school stuff, man. I know like because we're old, bro. Like let's be honest, we're really old if we're
We're
talking
old,
about
bro.
like some old school MS shit. And I hate to break it to you, but even though we're old, we know what we're talking about, and we are technically pros at this shit. So just listen to us. You can always ask people, but we're gonna be honest with you. Whether you have fun with Bishop or you don't have fun with Bishop, it's gonna be Kana, bro. Like it's gonna be the most played.
It's gonna be kinda.
Like all
Yeah, and then
these all these Dexless sins are gonna quit. Like once the nostalgia wears off, Bishop
yeah.
players will keep playing because they're
Yo,
gonna get
trust me, if you
rich.
play Bishop and you make friends in game, you're gonna see how many people quit before they make it to third job. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you right now, half of those are gonna be assassins. But anyways,
Anyways,
Verdi says
anyways.
even without luckless items, is luckless still meta because int equals magic attack? So I think that's a great question. That will depend on how long you think it will be until they release luckless items. Let's say
Yeah.
if Nexon comes out with a statement today, we will never add luckless items to MapleStory Classic, then you should definitely go low luck. Like
I agree.
okay, at one point in time, if elemental ones do not come out, then you're better converting from full int to low luck.
Yeah, that's fair. Personally, I would like. I'm talking about my perspective. I would just go luckless because that's for me. That's what makes shit fun. Like the Dexless shit. I grew up a kid. You know what I mean. We always all wanted to be Dexless, luckless. But in terms of your bang for buck, you definitely want to be able to equip the shit if you can't find like yellow umbrellas or maple staves and shit. If that's not available for you, then
Yeah,
yes, you're
Hearts
gonna want to
ones,
go.
Mystic Canes, uh, Black Umbrellas. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much the meta before the anniversary comes out. And
Yeah,
I, I'm just gonna make a wild guess here. I don't think Maple Weapons will be released right as the game comes out. I think
it
Nexon's gonna
definitely
help
won't.
that.
It definitely they're gonna make it like an event or some shit. You know, I feel
Yeah,
like the
definitely gonna be like
best.
a year down the line
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Just to give it like one more. Well, it depends on how heavily Nexon monetizes the game. They might need it as like a final hurrah by the time the first year anniversary comes around. But
Damn
they'll
son.
definitely want to save that in their back pocket. But just look out for umbrellas,
Mm-hmm.
hard ones, like just random stuff that doesn't require as much.
Maybe like the
lu-
Zakum one once Zakum comes out.
Yeah,
That level
Zakuma.
50 Zakum
One thing I
one.
will say though, yo, bro, you know the Doomsday staff, right?
Yes.
That weapon looks so cool, man.
Is that
Like
your
that's like
favorite mage
that's
weapon?
my favorite old school weapon in the game.
Huh, what's mine? I feel like I recently really love elemental ones. They just really look cool.
It's probably because you can hit that +5, bro.
That shit was goaded. But for me, I don't know. Wands. Speaking of wands, maybe that magic Odar. That yellow staff, that piss colored
Magic.
staff. It's like level 86 or some shit.
Oh
Somebody
yeah, yeah,
knows.
yeah.
Somebody knows in the chat. That's my favorite. Like as a kid, I always saw that staff. I was like, yo, I need this on my battle mage though, for real.
Yo,
Like
that staff reminds me of the staff you get from clearing manor on Realm, man.
Wait. The bulwark staff, the
The
staff
the
of bulwark.
bulwark. Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. Yeah, I can. Bro's talking about Realm in an OSMS tier list.
Hey man, the pixel counts is pretty similar, okay?
True.
All
I
right.
guess one more thing to say is all mages are great because of their Genesis skill. Okay, Fire Poison has the Meteor, Bishop has the Genesis, and Ice Lightning, which I feel like we should talk about next. What do you think?
Mhm. Hey,
Has
let's
the
talk about
Blizzard.
Iceland. Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
what I want to say about Ice Lightning is Ice Lightning is almost like the archetype of Fire Poison. Like Bishop is the most unique,
yeah.
but Ice Lightning is like the opposite of Fire Poison, but they have similar like attributes, if that makes sense. Again, with the mages, it's all about elemental shit. Okay, a lot
Yeah.
of people who love Giga grinding in old school Maplestory will play Ice Lightning Mage. Okay, shout outs to Titimo Wanger. Okay.
Yo, you just got corrected, bro. Hedron says isn't Bulwark from Snake Pit. Yo, we haven't played the game in so
Oh
long. Remember.
no, I got fucking yeah. He's
Remember.
right though. He's right. Bulwark is from Snake Pit. I believe it's the Saint Wand. It's like this dumbass wand back then.
I
That
remember, like, all I remember is that one pierces and it has like additional range, but the damage is a lot lower. It's kind of like the Bone Dagger, right?
yeah, the Saint one. That's what it's like a little bit longer than your usual one, but it
Yeah, a little bit
sucks. The
longer.
DPS sucks, man.
It
And
sucks.
then there's the
Sorry, just
Crystal
one
one.
quick thing on the
Yeah,
ice
yeah, yeah.
lightning, right? Like,
Yeah. Go for it.
one thing I want to bring up that we shouldn't forget about is speculatory. It's kind of similar to looking at how Buccaneers will really thrive if the meta shifts
Mm-hmm.
more toward hero and crossbowmen,
Mm-hmm.
but it probably won't do as well if your Night Lords and Bowmasters are the meta.
Okay.
Same thing goes with ice sliding. It really depends on what maps Nexon introduces. If they just keep it
Oh.
100% vanilla, right?
Mm-hmm.
You look at the end game maps, okay?
Mm-hmm.
No doubt, Bishop, right? You're grinding Skelegons all day.
Of
There's nothing
course.
to even talk about there.
Of course.
But let's say they take the route of certain other servers out there and they introduce like Ulu 2,
Yeah.
Ulu 3,
Hey, it
right?
could happen because it's GMS
It
we're
could
talking about.
happen. It could happen. And if Singapore, if that like later parts of the Singapore is introduced, then fire poisons, because I think those things are like grass type, so they're weak to fire. So fire poisons will definitely have an easier time. And
Right.
on that note, I want to say, objectively, ice lining has a weaker late game compared to the other classes. Like,
Mm.
it doesn't matter what content Nexon ports over, unless they port over a brand new area that's like all fire types and stuff,
They kind of fall off, is what you're saying.
they kind of fall off, but the class has the most fun second to third job
Yo,
of mages.
I agree. And I've never played Ice Lightning before, but from the gameplay that I've seen, shout outs to Ice School Asahi, it is insane the second job skills that you get, man.
It's
Thunderbolt
so
is
much fun.
so
Dude, why'd you
good,
gotta
bro.
fucking say that, bro? Now I wanna go play. Dude, the fucking gearhead on that character was fucking insane, bro. I was one-shotting Platoon Chronos at like level 35, bro.
Memories, bro. Goddamn, bro. That could have
Yo,
been.
that
That
was
could have been.
so much fun. Now that you reminded me, that this class is actually okay. It might be like not even just mages. Like the second job might be one of the most fun. Like you have Buccaneers second job, which is they do a lot of stuff, but it
Yeah.
doesn't do much damage. Then you have Eye Sliding second job.
Mm.
You literally press that Thunderbolt button and you just watch stuff die around you. You don't even gotta move, bro.
Exactly. It is like okay, you know how like Bishop is kind of like the most obviously Bishop is the most broken mage, but when I think of like magician class, the Ice Lightning feels like the hero of mages. Like it is like the
Yes.
defined mage class. You look at that shit while you're like training and you're like, "Damn, that guy is like not a support. He's not a bosser. Bro is a farmer and he's a mage, man. And he's out here grinding. He's collecting. He's going to be the most rich motherfucker ever."
Yeah,
A
that's
lot
fact.
of Ice Lightning players are probably addicted to the game, and there's a good reason why. This class is perfect for you to just be like, "Hey, I just want to go over here and do this." It is the best. Like, it is the most versatile class when it comes to farming. You
Oh,
think
100%.
about
I love the fact you say that. Versatile. That's one
yes,
thing you can't say for clerics.
you can't. Yeah.
Clerics, like second job, you're either at Ghost Ship, which we
Mm,
don't even know if it's gonna be a thing,
mm-hmm.
or you're at the Chronos
Zombies,
maps,
Chronos,
or you're gonna be
zombies.
at zombies, or you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be at the wraiths, right?
You have
But with
limited
ice fighting, you can
choices.
go anywhere. You can go to
Yes,
Florida
bro.
Beach, you can go to Sleepywood, you can go to Osiria, like you can go anywhere, man.
Yeah, and like, listen, and I have a lot to say about this class, even though I've never personally played it myself. Because whenever I start like a mage, I'm thinking like, why would I not just go bishop? Is what I think. So,
Yeah,
even that aside, right? Even my opinions and biases aside, this is a great class, and personally, I would put it in recommended.
for sure. Me too. Me too. Definitely recommend.
Definitely over hero, although they're both good
Over
classes.
Hero, yeah, yeah. I ship that.
The,
Over
the
Hero.
the top of recommended is definitely a place I put it. Oh,
Okay.
and also one more thing I want to mention. Elemental amplification is a skill that makes you use more mana, but you do more damage, okay? That
Yes.
is the one thing that bishops don't have that both fire poison and ice lightning do, okay? And if you're a bit weak, right, you don't have that good stats or good equipment, there might be a argument to play either fire poison or ice lightning over bishop so you can make money that way. It really depends on what your playstyle is, okay? If you're like a party player, I'd really suggest the bishop, but if you're a solo player, you might look into doing ice lightning instead.
Mm-hmm.
So the choice is
100%.
yours, I guess, in that sense. But yeah, that's about it for me when it comes to the mages, man.
Yeah, I think mages is pretty cut and clear,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the warriors, where you have your clear best in class, you have the bishops and the dark knights, you have your recommended, which is ice lightning for how fun it is, and
Yeah,
also hero for how low effort it is,
yeah.
and then you have your play it if you like it, which is your more niche classes. Like you will play a paladin if you're looking for cheap gear, you like how you have a skill that does tons of damage to a single target.
Mm-hmm.
There's also Heaven's Hammer, which is a really
Oh,
fringe and
shout outs, Heaven's
skill.
Hammer, bro. One of the most memorable skills for me personally.
It's so memorable, man. It doesn't do much. That's the only issue with it.
It just looks
And
cool
then
from a casual perspective.
for sure. And then you
Yeah.
have your fire poison, which is strong late game, but you gotta really dedicate yourself to get past that
Yes,
mid game grind.
it is a sleeper pick for sure. It's like, you got to make sure you're not quitting the game if you're playing fire poison.
All right. So coming up next, we have two classes that I'm sure almost nobody cares about. And then we have two classes that everyone wants to hear about.
I
How do
feel
we
like
sequence this?
we should do the first ones first, and then we can save the latter for last. That'll
All
be
right, let's
fun.
talk about Crossbowman.
Okay, sure. The marksman boys.
The marksman. So I will say, like, I'm gonna come out and say I'm actually personally a pretty big fan of marksman.
Me
And
too. Me too. I just wanted to point that out
okay,
too.
well I'll quickly say my piece then, because I don't know
Yes, for
why.
sure, for
I
sure,
don't
for
know
sure.
why I like marksman. I just the thing that appeals me the most about marksman initially
Uh huh.
is I don't gotta be like all the bowmasters in late game just holding down their I don't know what is it, hurricane.
Hurricane.
I'm not just holding down hurricane. Like I'm actually strafing. But
Yes.
why do I like Straff? I don't know. So yeah,
Okay. All right.
okay, go.
Let me hop in.
Let me know what you
When
think.
I played marksman, I had a brief stint when you got permanently banned off the young Lagino.
Yeah.
I played marksman for a bit, and the reason why I played it is because I wanted to learn how to jump shot. I only learned about jump shot.
Mm,
You're the one who actually told me about jump shotting like a year ago when you were like, "Yo, I've
yeah,
seen
yeah,
some
yeah.
like pro ass marksman players who jump shot every single strafe."
So for those of you guys that don't know in the stream chat, with marksman on old school Maplestory, there's two things you can do, right? This shit is like Azir drifts, okay? You can tap your straff as you input jump at the same time to jump and straff in the same direction. But you can also tap, straff, jump, and back key. So you can kind of like kite mobs by running in one direction and
Yes.
then jump straff backwards and then keep running the other way.
Marksman is literally the ADC, bro. He is ADC player, bro. If you play ADC in League of Legends, you might like Marksman.
Yeah.
As for Marksman itself, it honestly, to be honest, bro, Bowmaster and Marksman is literally the same class until fourth job. There's this argument that hero or our warrior classes are all the same until third job, but with the bowman class, they're all the same until the fourth job. Because with Bowmaster, you also just use strafe. You actually do jump strafe until fourth job, and then once you get fourth job, you just fucking hold down the goddamn key. I like Marksman because it has the ice elemental with the arrow rain, right? So you can save
Yeah,
on a lot of pots when it comes to Marksman. But
that
like
is true.
Bowmen in general are they're the longest range classes. So it does feel like kind of a nerd class. If you know me, I've always kind of made fun of the bowman class. But if you are a smart guy and you like to plan out your routes, right? If you have like a roadmap from 0 to 120, Bowmaster is ideal for you to like pick up because you basically figure out what you do and then you just repeat that shit. I've seen so many RTL streamers who are like marksman and bowmaster. They go to like maps that are like 30 levels above them, right? They'll go to fucking Deep Ludi at like level 70 and just train there and farm ilbies. And it works because they don't get hit.
Hmm.
You can
Hmm.
exploit the game a lot with this class.
That's why people
However, yeah,
remember
go
there's
on.
like a mechanism back in the day called like sniping newts, right? Like you literally stand in a newts map and you just hold your snipe key, which does like max damage. I think 200k it is.
Snipe is only
And
for marksman, right?
it's only for marksman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Just
The chat
making
saying
sure.
that exposed scrolls are also one of the cheapest. Crossbow
True,
scrolls
true,
are
true.
pretty much the prices of like your two-hand blunt scrolls.
Yeah, marksman has that same advantage that paladin does, where their shit is they don't even sell that shit, bro. Like nobody plays this class. That's the
No,
thing.
people just drop that shit, bro.
Like,
Yo, Red Lego says put that shit in reboot tier. We're not getting fourth drop on launch. Good. So, wait, did you want to say something else, Johawk, before I give my 2 cents and my verdict?
sure. Let me just say, I like marksman over the bowmaster, but that's just a personal thing. And also, bowmaster is the lowest in terms of like bowman just is lame. Okay, like thief. You think of thief, it's cool as shit. Mages, they're OP as shit. Warriors, classic as shit. Bowman, huh? You know, that's it. Go for it, cuisine.
Bowman is pretty much for two types of players. The type of player that want to be like Night Lord, but think Night Lords are just too cool, so they
Yeah.
want to like go
Oh,
like a little bit more
hipsters.
edge lord, and they want to play like a different class.
Mm-hmm.
And also the second type of people that play Bowmasters are like they just want to like support. Like let's say they have a lot of friends that play the game already, but they already have a bishop. Well, the next other way that you can play to support them is by giving them sharp eyes.
Sharp eyes, and both marksman and bowmaster get sharp eyes. But again,
Get
that's
sharp
like
eyes.
late game. So like
That's
again,
like fourth job. So what I want to
yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah.
there's really not too much to say, and we can kind of clear both at one time. You guys has been hearing us gas up crossbowmen and marksmen for the past 10 minutes.
Right.
Well, everything we just said with bowmaster, you get hurricane and all of that. Like
Yeah.
literally, it's just like
Yeah.
you have marksman, dude. Marksman is like a third job class. Your class ends at third job,
It really does.
and then bowmaster. Dude, Bowmaster, man.
Yeah.
Bowmaster is Bowmaster needs to go in between recommended and best class. And
Oh, damn.
like it's I don't know how to explain this, but it's like you're playing a class that with marksman, you're playing a class that is very extensive, intensive.
Yes.
But then also it's like, okay, you have a very similar path up to fourth job as your bowmasters, but then past the fourth job, once that fourth job patch hits in the summer of 2026,
Right.
the stuff you're gonna be doing on a marksman versus the stuff you're gonna be doing on a bowmasters, the parties you're gonna get into, the training comps you're gonna get into as a marksman, like
Yeah.
that shit is not the same, man. And for that reason, I like where you put the bowmaster and recommended. I agree,
Yeah.
100%. I would put marksman and go play fucking Ruby, bro.
It's done. It's done. And you know what? I after what I heard you said, I think I have to agree, bro.
Like
Marksman is a cool
dude,
ass class.
marksman is like fucking beast tamers on GMS, bro. You're not getting a fourth job, bro. You're permanently stuck in third job.
I mean, they get sniped, bro. They get sniped. All right. But
Nah, dude, they get like,
shout outs to the marksman mains. All right. Listen, even though you might have to go play reboot if you main marksman, at least you're cooler than bowmasters. All right. And tier lists don't matter, man. It's all about what you do with the class. And we've seen what marksmans can do. If they fucking min-max, fucking jump shot everything, you guys are cooler than Night Lords, to be honest with you. That's all I'm saying.
well, just one thing though. One thing as you're saying,
Yeah.
with marksmen's, right? There's also one highly kind of contradictory thing to their kits.
What is
So
that?
I remember seeing something back in the day about like damage comparison between bowmasters and marksmen's.
Yeah.
Marksmen's do more damage than bowmasters up to level 160, just because of
Wow.
snipes. So when you max snipe first
Yeah.
versus when you max hurricane,
Yeah.
you're doing more damage with your snipe.
I see.
However, that gap is closed once you pass that level 160 range, and
Oh.
bowmasters and marksmen both get better gear. Because the way it scales is the more damage that your character innately has, the
Yeah.
less that max damage on your snipe will matter.
Okay, I see. So it falls
You
off,
get
is
my
what you're saying. Like in
yeah,
the
you get my point.
peak level 18, full items, no boots,
Yeah, like
Bowmaster.
when you're peak level 18, level 3 ult, you're like 8-8 on Realm of the Mad Gods, like
Yeah.
you're not even gonna be weaving in your snipe. Like it's not gonna matter,
Right, right,
right?
right.
And then it's like you have that skill, it's cool, but then does it really matter that much? And God forbid, like you guys see what fucking happened to RTL, man. Like I'm Chinese myself, and I see what the Chinese people. Holy shit, man! These guys do not fucking take place. You think the Chinese people aren't gonna min max the shit out of whatever the class they play, dude? There's no point playing a crossbowman and pressing snipe every 7 seconds when you can just hit max damage every single line with bowmaster, man. I guarantee
Facts.
you, all those streamers that streaming RTL right now, shout out to all of them, all the Chinese
Shout outs,
Taiwanese
shout
streamers.
out, shout outs.
They are going to min-max the crap out of whatever class they play. And trust me when I say none of them are going to be min-maxing a crossbowman. And that speaks volumes.
Yep. Yep. Word to that, man. Word to that shit, bro.
All right.
We're here, man.
We are
The
here.
people
We're
have
here.
been
Yo,
waiting
chat.
for
Chat.
this.
Which one first? Chat. Which one first?
Which one for what you guys want to hear, man? The Night Lord or the Shadower, dude?
And what
Fun
if we
fact,
put
bro.
both of these? We end up putting both of these into the reboot here.
No, no, no.
Hey. Hey, it could happen. It could
Oh
happen.
shit, I can't put it back. Fuck my life. Okay, well, whatever. I think we should start with the Shadower, bro, honestly.
Shadower? All
Um,
right. Shadower first. Okay. So, how about this? I'm going to say one thing and then you say one thing.
sure, we can back and forth this shit, okay?
Okay, well, let's back and forth this shit. So let's start with their skills, right?
Yeah.
Um, Shadowers is like a fourth warrior in a sense. It's like the trickster of Realm of the Mad Gods. I love how
Yes,
Bowmaster
I like
showed
that
that.
comparison, man. I
Like
was
no one even plays, right?
mm-hmm.
But with the Shadower, you have a skill called Mesoguard, and you have a skill called fuck, what is that thing called? No, I think it was just Mesoguard. They don't get the. Do they get Shifter? Yeah, they do get Shifter. Yeah, you have
Both
Mesoguard.
classes get shifter.
You have Mesoguard and Shifter. Well, Shifter is in fourth drop, but
Yes.
your Mesoguard essentially makes you just as tanky as any warrior class,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you have Mesoguard on. Like you can tank just as many hits. So with that being said, it's innately a class that you can go melee range with, and if you want a slightly edgier, slightly flashier class compared to like your standard warriors, also it has a second job. Unlike warrior classes that don't have second jobs,
Right.
that always have a second job. Let's talk about that.
That's true. Okay, so with second job, you get Savage Blow, and in old school MS, there's no other skill, literally no other skill that has more lines than Savage Blow. So if you're one of those like guys who like get the strongest like second job gear, right? You're the strongest level 50 in the goddamn game. Shadower is tier 1 in that sense cuz you can potentially kill you go on private servers and you go to like OPQ or LPQ lobbies and the shadowers, the bandits are always doing the most damage there, more than Night Lord, more than anything. Okay? Besides Savage Blow though, like the problem with thieves is even though you're strong single target, you do not get multi-target until third job, which is why
Same
I
issue.
which
Same
is
issue as the yeah.
yeah, which is why I feel like noobs see thieves as like such a cool class because they never get to the point where they can be cool, which is third job and beyond. Which is why they're determined to like, you know what I mean? That's why people are like, man, this time I'm gonna get to level 70 this time on my assassin, bro. And it's like, all right, bro, good luck, man, because it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
Hey,
fucking tough.
is Korean fan out on RTL?
It should be, yeah. K-Fan exists.
Is on RTL? Yeah. I'm thinking like the exact same thing as you. And just to elaborate on that a bit more, I think
Mm.
you know there's a reason why so many people want to play a bandit, want to play an assassin, but no one ever says, "Yeah, I can't wait to get on classic MapleStory and play a fire person," right?
Right, right.
Because everything has a trade-off. Now, while fire poison has a super strong fourth job, super fast third job, the journey to that point is just not worth it to most players, in their opinion.
Yeah,
But when
yeah.
you look at a bandit, when you look at a night lord, yes, you have a very slow and grueling second job, but you're doing tons of fucking
You are
damage,
doing
like
so much
tons of
damage. It's
damage.
unfair how much more damage these guys do, like compared to every other class.
It's not even like when someone thinks of making a kerning party quest mule, right, to go solo King Slime, it's
Yeah,
always a Night Lord. It's always a double
always.
stab rogue. Like people play these classes because of the damage they do. And if you want a really flashy class that does a ton of damage and you don't care too much into like the level 70, level
Right,
120, like you can't get better than this.
right, right.
But with this tier list, we are also ranking the third job and the prospects of fourth job.
Exactly.
So why don't we talk a little bit about third job for
Sure.
Chief Bandits and what
Let
that
me
looks
let
like?
me say some shit. I'm gonna bring out my inner div here. I really learned how Chief Bandits work in the old school MapleStory timeline through playing Chief Bandit, and I think the most interesting, like you said, Mesoguard makes it so that because Night Lords don't get Mesoguard. This is why Div was able to survive the Zakum run at like level 70 or something.
Yeah.
That is the one advantage that they have. But I also feel like Shadowers, like Ice Lightning Mages, are very versatile. They can do a lot of things that no other class can do. And it's thanks to Meso Explosion, bro. Meso Explosion is maybe the most interesting and most iconic skill, in my opinion, in old school MapleStory. If you
Mhm.
have the money, if you have the money to spend, you can solo shit at level 80, bro. You can do anything by yourself as long as you learned how to use your dark sight correctly, how to dodge shit, how to prepare shit, how to spam meso drops and all that stuff. If you spend the time to learn your class instead of being like, I don't know, like a hero and just holding
No,
holding the
fuck that
button.
shit, bro. If you spend your money in the game
Yes.
and you drop that shit and you meso explode it, you win, man. Like
You win the
congratulations,
game.
bro.
You can solo Zakum if you really wanted to. You can. Uh, Sh-
It's so easy.
Shadower, bro, like you'll have so much fun. But it is a veteran class. You're not gonna have fun with Shadower if you're a fucking noob. All right, just remember that. And if you're willing to learn, bro, Shadower can go the distance. Sometimes I believe that Shadowers can out overshadow Night Lords, bro. But it really depends. It really depends on the person playing, right? It all depends on like how good you are. Third job, honestly, like I feel like with fourth job shadowers, it's not as enticing as the third job. Kind of like hermits. When you hit third job on a thief, bro, you unlock everything, man. Unlock everything. The game suddenly feels fun, and you realize how people got addicted to this game. Uh,
For sure, man. Hey, I just want to quickly address the chat. Chromatic, bro, have a good night.
Yo,
Red Lego says,
later.
how you fund this guy for Meso Explosion? Are we ranking them based on making your first character? So yes, we are, but we're ranking them based on making your first character, as in like you have no other resources in the game. You can't holy symbol yourself. Like you can't meso up yourself, right?
Right,
But you can definitely real world trade. Like we are including like if you
right, right,
slash.
right,
That's why we say if. We don't say yeah. Bandit is tier one because you can real world trade. No, we don't say that. But we say if you decide to, is good. But if
right,
you
right,
don't do it, it's not that good.
right, right,
And
right, right, right.
everything you just said, Johawk, I just want to emphasize. I want to highlight the point that if you're a noob,
Mm-hmm.
do not play Chief Bandit
Do
or
not
Bandits.
play
But if
Chief
you're just
Bandit.
looking to have fun, do damage, have flashy skills, go ahead and play it.
Right.
If you are a noob, if you are a noob, however, there's a
Mm-hmm.
class for you. Hey, there's a class for you.
There
We'll
are.
get to that. There's a
Yeah,
class for you.
there is. There definitely is. Mm-hmm. I guess with Chief Bandits, I don't know. I guess I have some closing thoughts. The shield is pretty cool. The fact that you can use a
Conjar is
shield.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Kanjar is fucking broken, and if that shit comes out. And another thing about thieves, or Chief Bandits in specific, they also use strength as like a third tertiary
Mhm.
stat.
Mhm.
And you can decide to go strength or not. It depends on what it depends on what kind of items that you happen to come across while you're playing the game. It also depends on what you value from the class itself. So it is very versatile. I'd just say Shadowers are fun and versatile and very strong. However, they're not better than Night Lords.
They are not better than Night Lords, and
And I would honestly put it at the top of
I
recommended.
mean, hold on.
Oh, okay, wait. I'll let you cook.
I wouldn't strictly say they're a worse version of Night Lord, just like how Marksman is a worse version of Bowmaster.
Mm-hmm.
It has its own merits. Like you have Meso Guard, right? That's a huge thing that if
Yes.
HP watching is not a thing and they don't compensate for the missing HP,
Right.
Night Lords are unplayable into fourth job, while
You're right.
Shadowers are.
You're right.
So I wouldn't say it's a strict downgrade, but everything else you say, I 100% agree with. Like there's pros to it and there's cons compared to Night Lords, but do the pros make up for the cons? I don't think so, and that's why I put it. I think either at the bottom of recommended.
Bottom of recommended.
Honestly though, like if our friends want to play this game, would you recommend to play a bandit, bro?
Fuck no.
I will say right now, like if the Legion comes or Timothy
Right.
Wenger comes today and they want to play,
Yeah.
there's like I just want to do tons of damage, man.
Yeah.
Just go play Night Lord, bro. Like I
Agreed.
would not recommend Bandit. Bandit's that class you play if you already know of bandits and you know how to play a bandit and you're set on playing bandit. So for that reason,
Yes.
I'll put it after Buccaneers actually.
After Buccaneer. Oh, so play it if you like it, huh? In the play it if you like
I'll
it.
put play it if you like. I would not recommend bandits to people.
All right. Personally, right, I have I might have my biases, but
Yeah.
if this was my tier list, I'd honestly put it at the top of recommended. Personally speaking,
Really?
because
Really?
I feel like you're like a late
Well, hold on.
game.
Let's talk about that a bit more. Let's talk about that a bit more.
Sure. Let
So,
me. Yeah, go
one
for
of the
it.
major reasons I do not recommend playing bandits, okay? Bandits and Night Lords have a very similar second job pathing. You're both doing single damage,
Yep.
single target, and you're both doing tons of damage.
Right.
But by the time you get to third job, this is
Yeah.
where everything changes. Night Lords get Shadow Partner and Avenger.
Yes, they do.
Once you have some points in both of them,
Mm-hmm.
Night Lords become a lot easier to farm with. Your Avenger pretty much does more damage,
Yeah.
and it does consistent damage. You stand on one platform, you go like, bzz, choo, and you throw that star out, and you know you're gonna hit something. With
Send out money
bandits,
on 6ix9ine. Sorry.
with bandits, if you don't meso explode, if you're not bombing Heims,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you have Assaulter, which is a single target, and you have Band of Thieves. And dude, don't fucking lie, bro. Band of Thieves is so unreliable when it comes
It's
to training. Like, you're
fucking
not
god
training
awful
with Band of
hitbox.
Thieves.
It is a god awful hitbox. It only looks cool. It only like
If
if
you
you're
want to play a bandit, just go play a bishop and leech a bandit afterwards. Like
You
this
right.
class is unplayable into third job. Like
You're right.
if you're not wailing out into the cash shop and meso exploding your way to 120, like this class is not playable. And guys, what are you even doing when you're at 120? Fourth job's not even out yet. You're gonna be meso exploding your way to 130? Like, come on, this class is not fucking
Damn.
playable.
Okay, you're starting to influence my
Like, think about it, bro. How'd you even get from level 70 to 120? You bombed your way through this.
I did. I guess with that, I think about my Maple Legends experience, and I had a lot of money, man. But with a new server, you're right. You're not just gonna find money, and this tier list is based off of if you're only playing a single character. Like you're literally starting from fresh, like everybody else. And with that considered,
And hey, just a quick thing. So
yeah.
we talk about if you want a real world trade, right?
Yeah.
Get yourself some mesos, do some
Yeah.
meso explosions.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that,
Yeah.
why not take that money and fund a Night Lord instead? Right?
I have no qualms. Yeah, I have. You're right. You're right. The only reason why you would play is because you like the class and you're a
That's right.
veteran and you want to like learn how to play Shadow better. And if that's the case, all power to you. Let's put it at the top of played if you like it. What do you think, man?
Sure, sounds good to me.
Okay, it's time to move on to
All
the
right, the
man of
last
the
one. Yo, I'm
hour.
gonna take a quick piss break. I'll be right back.
Sure, yeah, I'll do the same. I need
Guys,
to go.
guys,
I need to go say
if
hi
you
to
guys
my mom.
been
So
watching us for this whole time, just go get yourself a drink.
grab
This
yourself a
is not
drink.
the end of the live stream, guys. We got another one coming up. Just hold your horses, get
All
some
right,
popcorn.
this
I
is
know
gonna
it's
be
dinner
the
time.
longest discussed class
It's
too.
gonna be the
So
we're fucking discussing
y'all,
classes.
y'all better
Maple
be,
Story
y'all
here,
better be
guys.
waiting. Y'all better be waiting.
Unfucking
I'll be
precedented
right back. I'll
live
be right
stream.
back.
All right, be right back too.
Hi, Sean. What's going on, Sean? I'm back. I'm back. Yo, what up, Aberdeen? Billy. How's it going, guys? What's up, chat? Let's hang out till Cuisine gets back. Shout outs to Cuisine. Go check out his shit if you haven't already, but I know you guys have. Silverwing, what's going on? Vex. Lua, Red Lego. Yo, Yerm, what's going on? Amimir. Motion Tines. Turchez. Yo, what up, Turchez? Congrats on finishing that Zakum jump quest, bro. How you guys liking the tier list so far? You guys agree? I mean, we still got this left.
Yo, I'm back.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Hey, we doing this last one?
We're doing this last one, man. It's the Night Lord. It is the class
My lord,
everybody
my lord.
knows.
All
Old
right, let's
school
put it into go
MS
to
modern.
reboot and move on to our next live stream.
Okay, bet. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and make sure to subscribe to Rest No Shoe and all that shit. No, we can't do this. They've been waiting, bro.
All right. So, Night Lord is the most divisive fucking class in the old school Maple Story. Like,
Speak on it.
where do I even start? Okay, so it's the class. First and foremost, let's even look outside of Maple Story, guys. Like, Night Lord personality types, guys. If you're watching this live stream, you've 100% played old school Maple Story before. Think of the Night Lords of old school Maple Story. Like the people, the Night Lords you've interacted with back when it was 2004, 2005, 2006.
Yep.
The Night Lords in your KPQ parties, the Night Lords in your LPQ parties. It's the Uchiha Sasuke class.
Yeah.
Maple Story.
Fucking perfect.
It's just cool, man. Like it's the antagonist hair with the face stompers, honor robes, with the brown bamboo hats, with the pink adventure cape. Like you can't get better than that. It's the nostalgic value, the iconic factor. It's unprecedented, man. Like we talk about how iconic Dragon Roar is with Dark Knight. We talk about how iconic Holy Symbol is, Genesis is, dude.
Yo, what
Night
up,
Lords
Eugene?
is just aura farming back in 2006.
Bro, they were aura farming before aura farming existed 20 goddamn years ago. If you're a fucking Night Lord, if you got to like pass their job as a hermit back in the days, bro, you were built different, bro. You were looked up to the common folk back then. Like this class on its own, I wouldn't say it saved the game, but it made the game what it is today, bro.
It made the game fun. I think that's one of the most important things.
Definitely.
It gave the game a persona and personality that it really needed, right? It needed that
Yes.
class type of guy. Like you look at so many games in the modern day, Genshin Impact. You look at like gacha games, like fuck, I don't really play games. You look at Minecraft, bro. You got like Steve on there and shit. But like you look at Maple Story, like without Night Lord, look at this, guys. Look at this graph right now. Without Night Lord, who's gonna be the coolest class, huh? Bowmasters, huh? Fire poisons, Nah, bro. It's not.
Nah, maybe like Chief Bandits, but that's also a
Yeah,
thief class.
cheap
When
bandits
this
or custom.
class first came out, because it was first the warrior, then it was the bowman, then it was the mage, and then the thieves came out. When thieves first came out, they literally combined everything good about every other class and gave it to the thieves, okay? Magic Guard went to the Chief Bandit. The Bowman range went to the Night Lord, bro. The high damage of the warrior, okay? They went to both classes. Like it just does the most damage for no reason.
It
It's
does so
supposed to
much
be
damage,
squishy.
man.
It's supposed to be a squishy class as its con, but with HP washing, man, that shit don't matter, man. You got hyper body, that shit don't matter, man. You got Messel Guard, that shit don't matter, and it never will. Okay, this game is such an old. Okay, like it's such an old game. We all know how to play. Let's be honest, bro. 80% of the people, if not more, already know this. The thief is the best class in old school Maplestory, and like it's funny to even like argue if it's not. Okay, like you have to be going on some psychosis shit. You have to
Hey
be
man,
playing
hey,
Bowman
hey,
for
hold
like
on, yo, bro, yo.
yes.
Nightlord is not the best class, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
What? Then who's
It's
the
not the
best
best class,
class?
bro.
Who's the best
Dude,
class?
if HP washing is
Yes.
not a thing, you're not leaving Ludibrium. Like you're not even landing on leaf rate, bro. You get fucking one shot. If HP washing is a thing, okay, sure.
Right.
Okay, if HP washing is a thing, I'll say it right now. And if every AP reset costs like $1, $3, and we see like 30k HP Nightlords, bro, I will bow down and like fucking worship them, bro. Those are fucking turbo giga chats. Those
True.
are where our crypto NFT rug pulls money went back in
True.
2020
True.
and
True. True. True.
2021,
True.
bro.
True.
It went to funnel into a classic Maplestory server Nightlord. And mad respect to those Nightlords. But like without HP washing,
Uh huh.
the reason why I say it's such a divisive class is whether it's a playable class versus a completely unplayable class. It's a feast or famine class. You're either doing shit tons of damage with sharp eyes in your party,
Right.
or you're getting one shot by any boss you go to. But
Good point.
I will say that its cultural equity is insane. Like it's
Mm.
like the orange mushroom to monsters to the classes on
Mm.
MapleStory. That's like so important to the game. And also, as you say, the tons of damage. Like you will not find a single class that does more damage than it in that level 1 to 30 range. And then if Maple Claw is released,
Yeah.
Maple Candeo is released, Maple Scanda is released, you're not finding a class that does more damage than it up to like level 70
Uh
even.
huh.
So it just does so much damage. And I agree with you, like it's so unique where I don't know how to place it because it's like it's so strong, it's so fun, it's so unique, but it kind of has a bit of a fall off into third job and like late third job if
Uh
you
huh.
don't have enough HP. But then late game again, it shines again. I don't know. Like, what do you think? What do you think to that like mid to late game mark?
If you don't mind me continuing from your spiel here, I think
Sure.
Night Lords or like assassins in general, they have the kit to become one of the best. It's a very easy kit to like learn. You know what I'm saying? Like Lucky 7 isn't a hard skill to use, right? You can use it midair compared to like strafing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have flash jump, which makes you fast as fuck. It's not hard to use flash jump. It's a button. However, if you want to get to the point where you are that guy, you are him, right?
That's true.
You
Hey, that is
need
true.
you need to master the class. Like you have to be good at the game. You have to be lucky. You have to know how to merch. You have to know how to get money. You have to know what skills to use. You have to know what quests to do, etc., etc. You can't just pick a Night Lord and be like, "Yep, I'm the best." You know, I'm playing Fox, so I'm the best fucking character. You know what I mean? No, no, it's not. It's not that easy. It's easy to pick up, but to become the best, bro, you have to be dedicated. It would be like if this class was not super overtuned, it would be right next to the Shadowers and play it if you like it, because it is a hard class to really like get its full potential out.
Mhm.
However, the class is fucking broken, bro. The class
The
is
class is so
honestly
much fun
broken.
and it's so broken. Like if we're looking at party comps, right? And just like how we said at the very beginning, this video is assuming even if HP washing is not a thing,
Yeah.
there's gonna be some sort of way for Nexon to get these squishier classes into the mid game, into the
Yes.
late game,
They're
right?
gonna be thinking about it,
So
bro.
So if we're putting all that past, again, think about it. Think about what I said about Paladin and Hero and Dark Knight when it comes to party compositions.
Mm-hmm.
Your endgame bossing composition looks like one bishop, one bowmaster, four of fucking night lords, bro. Like, let's say you currently have a party of one bishop, one bowmaster, three night lords, and you're going to Papaladas. There's no Zakum arms you gotta cleave. There's no
Mm-hmm.
like horntail legs and tails you gotta hit at the same time. Who are you taking, guys? Like honestly, who are you taking to your party? It's a fucking night lord, bro. They do the most single target DPS.
It's a Night Lord because most likely it's going to be a Night Lord because of how popular the class is too.
Yeah.
The only downside with the Night Lord itself is just the fact that there's so many of them that you're not going to be finding any equipments, man. Like you're not going to.
That is true, and you're never going to be the strongest night lord. The
Yes.
competition for night lord is going to be insane, guys.
This
Like,
class defines the the competition in this game.
let me put it this way: you're either doing well in real life or you're doing well as a night lord on Maplestory. That's enough you gotta commit to playing the class.
There's no both. Okay, you can't have both.
You just can't have both. You can't, and if you're having both, you're getting investigated by the IRS. So
True. That's an anomaly in this world, to be honest.
well, what do you think about this current tier list? Do you want to move anything around?
Here's the thing. I want to put Night Lord in the middle. I don't think it's better than the Bishop, but I do think it has some saying to be better than the Dark Knight.
Hey, Rubedo just said we're only getting second job only.
Yeah, well,
I
that's
don't know
how Maple
if
Land
I-
started.
But
Like-
it comes out in like 3 months anyway.
It'll come out eventually, but this is a tier list considering up to 4th job. And if we're considering up to 4th job, Night Lord gets haste, it gets crit. No other class gets crit except Night Lord and Marksman. Not even Shadower gets crit. Okay, think about that for a sec, right?
Yeah, Bowmasters too. Bowmasters.
Yeah, Bowmasters and Marksman and Night Lord. There's only 3 classes in this game that get crit.
Yeah.
You get Meso Up and Alchemist at 3rd job, right? Flash Jump. Okay, there's no other class. Maybe Teleport might
Maybe
be
if
the
you
only.
got like a TP hack from Artail and you transfer that over, then
Yeah. Maybe if
Well,
you're
that's
using
all,
some more underground methods, maybe you might be faster. But other than if you're playing legitimately, bro, there's no other class faster than Mechanic. Or why am I saying Mechanic? Night Lord. Okay. Avenger is a bit shitty. I guess with Night Lord it's more about single target, but you do have Avenger as like a.
Avenger is still miles better than Band of Thieves.
You're
so
right.
It's,
You're right.
it's not bad, man. Honestly, he's one of the better mobbing skills.
It is. And in terms of damaging classes, okay, so like your marksmans and your bowmasters and your heroes and your shadowers,
bro.
no class is better.
If we do a separate tier list of like
Yeah.
ranked by damage, holy shit, man! Like
We gotta make like this class is fucking like you know what I mean. There's got to be another tier. You know what I mean? The Fox tier, double S
it's gonna be
tier.
in its own tier. It's gonna be the Night Lord tier.
You're right. Listen, guys, Night Lord is good, okay, but don't act surprised if your Night Lord sucks. That's all we're
Don't
saying.
act surprised when you farm for 2,000 hours and you can't find a set of LBs.
A lot of people who played Artail who started off as a Night Lord decided to drop it and go to something else, and I think that speaks a lot of volume. Because they expected greatness, but luck wasn't on their side or something, or it was just too tedious. And I totally get it, bro. Like with a Night Lord, you really have to invest in the game, man, compared to all the other classes. I think we're good, man. What do you think about the tier list right now? Like, how's it look? Do you want to like switch anything, or do you like it how it is? Right?
Bishop definitely first character.
Number 1.
Night Lord definitely. Well, it can either be your first character if you just want to like.
They have both. They have like they exceed the benefits in their own like strengths. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Sure,
the best support class is Bishop, the best farming class is Bishop, and then the best damaging.
support class and just all around class is Bishop. The best flex class, the flashiest class, the coolest class, but
Mm,
somewhat of a glass cannon that requires a ton of investment into is the Night Lord. And then
mm-hmm.
if you want a safe pick of the bunch, go with the Dark Knight, right? Dark Knight you can never
Yeah,
go wrong with. You don't have to
true.
HP watch, you don't have to worry about accuracy or whatever. Just pump decks until you don't need it anymore. It's not that hard. And
Mm-hmm.
your equipment is gonna be pretty easy to come by. You can go with both pole arms and spears, so it makes it harder for merchants to like kind of bottleneck you out and choke you out of the game from
Yeah,
upgrading your equipments. Coming down recommended tier list, we have the Bowmaster, which rightfully so, right? It's kind of like the right arm of Night Lords, and it's pretty good on its own. It has its own faults. The same squishiness thing applies.
right.
It also doesn't have shifters, so it's even harder to play than a Night Lord. But if you can play a Bowmaster up to fourth drop, you are pretty set. Because there's not going to be that many of you as Night
Yeah.
Lords, so it's going to be a lot easier for you to find a party
And you're
composition for
always
lots.
gonna be, you know, you're gonna be searched for in a party because of your sharp eyes as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, shout out Shar 299 and shout out
Shout outs my
AAB
boy Eugene, got the legendary Tobies from Artail.
AAB says he's on the verge of quitting RTL after failing 3 B-Step 30 books. Damn. How much are those?
Yeah, bro's been trying to look for Boomerang Step 30 since fourth, not even before Fourth Job came out. It's just awful, man. Yo, Artail is a fucking. Sorry, no. Let's not.
Yeah, no, we love RTL. We love next
No,
song.
shout outs to all the Artail players. You guys are the most dedicated players out of all Maplers, I'd say.
Out of all RTL players.
Out of all Artail players, yeah, the people who still play. No, I'm hopping on Artail later, bro. Hey, any
No, hold
Artailers in
on
the
there
chat,
too. But no,
come.
you've never seen dedication until you see a reboot player trying to get a vac pet.
You right.
That's just like an
Straight
addict trying to
facts.
hit a clack pipe, bro.
Straight facts. Straight facts. Yo, Tanjiro, man, make sure you guys get that Tanjiro pet, the untradeable one, you know?
Hey
Yeah.
guys, make sure you get that Tanjiro pet so Nexon might not need to monetize Maplestory Classic that much.
True. Yo, y'all gotta spend so the classic Maple thrives, alright? And you're welcome to join us anytime. And any rebooters in chat, come join us, bro. Alright, you can play both. I'm sure you have the time.
All right, and then quickly looking at the other classes, so Ice Lightning definitely belongs there. Would
Mm-hmm.
I put Ice Lightning above Bowmaster? No, not really. No, not really. Because Bowmaster is like one of a kind in its own
Yes,
branch.
yes.
Hero, yeah, I would put it there. It's recommended. Play it if you like it. Are the classes we don't recommend, but we're not going to dissuade them from playing either. So
Mm-hmm.
Chatterer, yeah, it belongs there. Buccaneer, yeah. Paladin, yeah. What is that thing?
Archmage
Oh,
Fire
Fire
Poison.
Poison?
Maybe Fire Poison has like a. I don't know. Fire Poison feels like still good because it's still a mage. Out of all of these
I would move
classes,
it above Paladin. That's how
yeah,
far I would go for that.
I
Yeah,
like that. Sure, I like that. I like that.
yeah.
Thing about
And
Paladin
then
is it's a warrior, bro. You're so slow. Like regardless if you're like a
the
good
thing with
class or
Paladins, like
not.
I just can't think of a reason why you would play Paladin over Hero.
Yeah, yeah. Like the only reason it's played in certain servers is because it got buffed.
Yeah, I got hella buff, man. And then go play reboot. You have your Crossbowman, which is a Bowmaster without a fourth job,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got your Corsair, which why do we play Corsair? I just guess like nobody knows what the fuck
Corsair
Corsair is.
is so weird, bro. I feel like Corsair tries to be everything at once, but it's like a jack of all trades rather than like a master of everything. I feel like Corsair is like a failed version of the Night Lord. That's how I see Corsair. Because with Night Lord, at least most of the time you're either activating your Shadow Shifter or you're not getting hit because you have so much avoidability. You don't get
Yeah,
that advantage with Corsair, man. So you're
no,
just a squishy motherfucker, man. And
yeah, yeah. I agree, man. Just pretend these two classes don't exist in the game.
but if you like them, hey, we ain't hating. This is just a tier list. In the
This
end
is
of the
do
day,
this, guys. Play whatever you want. Play whatever you want.
yes. Don't see this. Don't take things so like personally. Is my advice to you guys. We're just here to discuss, and we love all Maple Story
I'm sure
players.
everyone's chill, bro. I'm sure everyone is. All right, should we wrap this up? Hop into our
Mm,
next segment.
mm. All
All
right.
right, I'm
Well,
gonna I'm
thank
gonna
you.
wait for you to restart. Hey guys, stream's gonna cut, but we're gonna be starting up we're spinning up a new one real
Yep,
soon.
yep,
We're gonna be
yep.
talking about other stuff,
I'm gonna start up
other Maple Story
Artail.
classic stuff.
Yeah, and we're gonna react to the first thing we'll do is we'll react to the old school Maple Story classic video in case somebody missed it. All right. Yesterday, Inkwell released a video. If you haven't seen it, then you're gonna shit your pants. So stay tuned for that. I will be back. We're gonna stop the stream. We're gonna grab this VOD. Okay, Cuisine's got something cooking up. Shout outs to Red Snowshoe one last time. All right, be sure to subscribe to Red Snowshoe for the up to date shit. All right. Anyways, we'll be back. Give us like 5 minutes, and we'll be back on live. And I'll probably stream live for a little bit, chat. Actually look at chat and whatnot. But thank you very much for watching our tier list. All right.
Thank you. I will see you soon as well.
All right, sounds good. Peace out. Peace out. For not for long, but peace out.